Arsgard here, and it's time to talk about Sentence to be a Hero. And this episode is definitely a prep-up, build-up episode for the confrontation to come with the city, them trying to defend it, or more like being put in another situation where they're understaffed, undergeared, outnumbered, and overwhelmed pretty much. We have the demons coming after them, and the city here, the nobles wanting to use them as bait and distraction, and of course keep the main force to protect their own benefits and things like that. But what was interesting for me in this episode, Kivia. She was probably the best part of the episode that we've seen here, and I'm worried about her and her uncle. So let's get into the episode and talk about it. Now, picks up with Kivia thinking of that name, Mahaizel Zelkov here, and wanting to interrogate the guildmaster Lido, but yeah, like we saw last episode, he's unfortunately dead, and throughout the episode we see how much he's eating at her, and I really liked that detail. We see bags under her eyes, how tired she is, how stressed she is, not just with everything going on, with this especially, because she's probably used with fighting, with things like that, kind of par for the course, but this added another layer on top of everything that is going on here, and I really liked what happened with her in Venet. We're gonna get to that here, but also this episode we finally get to meet Rhino, and he doesn't disappoint, to say the least. He's unhinged, he's insane, to say the least, and I'm liking his design, but especially his personality, because we see Venetim, I think he bullshitted that order to release Rhino. Man, this guy is such a bullshit artist, Venetim. I like him quite a lot there. You also see moments, Teorita stuffing her face, eating, wanting to go on a walk. They were too agitated to stay inside, especially all of them, but it's a lockdown. They're not really allowed to go out because they have a target on their back here and they have to protect Teorita. But what I liked, Kivia, despite of everything that she's been under, the pressure, what has been going with her, that name, her uncle, everything, she still had the presence of mind and things to tell them, hey, you have permission, go short distance, stretch your legs a bit here. She definitely warmed up to the group, and especially Xylo, and we know she cares very much so for Teorita here. And here is where we see how tired she is, how busy she is here. And we're gonna get to Kivia, especially towards the end of the video here. Then we have Teorita on the outside signing autographs. Here Xylo is also famous. And here I'm a bit conflicted there. Like, Marlin shows up, the priest, Kivia's uncle or surrogate father, however you wanna call him, starts talking a bit about Kivia, how much he values her, talking about honor a bit with Xylo, how things are there, but I liked his soft threat there. If somebody betrays her, they're gonna have to answer to me there. And yeah, he definitely cares about Kivia, but he's very, very suspicious, which we're gonna get into that. And I like how he was about to ask, oh, so you have a fiance, right, Xylo? But they get interrupted by the alarm of them getting attacked, the city here. And we have also, on the other hand, Kivia running into Venetim, snooping around documents and things like that. She lets him go, but she also is thinking about the name Zelkov and Mahaizel there. And here, after this, we finally get to meet Rhino. He's on the outside. He's the voice actor of Gojo, by the way. You can never mistake him here. And he definitely fits with the personality. He's fully unhinged, like that lawful good that is gonna kill somebody to protect the greater good there. Like, he's really, really unhinged, willing to do anything and everything to protect civilians and people. Like, it's good that you have him on your side, but it's like you have a crazy, unhinged psychopath on your side, and he's technically a good guy, but he's gonna do a lot of fucked up shit in the name of being a good guy, which I like. This it definitely fits with the role, and he's the artillery there. We're gonna get into that there also, and I like now nobody liked him. Even Teorita, she was like hiding from him, didn't really like him, even though he was saying the good words, praising her, saying yeah, I'm gonna be good or gonna protect civilians. You can definitely feel something is off about this dude. He has that presence about him. And apparently he shelled civilian houses just to get made into a hero. Like, yeah, this makes sense. Somebody like this would definitely volunteer to be a hero, considering how unhinged he is and how he views the world. But I do hope we get to find out more about him. He's just been introduced. Maybe like in a few episodes we're gonna get a bit more of his backstory there, but he did not disappoint. I'm happy with first impressions that I got from him. We're gonna see more after that there. Now, they also have to deal with this tower getting attacked. Of course, it's a trap. I like how in sync they were there, Xylo and Rhino. The demons also have artillery, but now they also have it also with Rhino there. But they also have to defend the port alone because the noblemen want to do their corrupt bullshit there. And I like Teorita's speech about honor and doing the right thing. And here is where Rhino, yeah, we're the same. I want this also. I like you. Good speech. No, you're not. You're not the same there. Then we get to see preparations. Norgel kind of drafted the guild members, the bozos, the adventurers. From the best part, he drafted them into his royal guard here. Rhino also finally get the reveal with him having the armored suit, kind of similar to Combustion Man from last episode, like I said. Apparently it's called Nevan Artillery Seal Compound, and I like how Xylo said, yeah, but I don't know why he has that outdated outfit. So, okay, definitely maybe there's an order or something like that, because those are kind of similar with the mercenary that we have. He's probably gonna have a history with that guy, right? Or at least that's what I'm thinking, because they're way too similar. Unless this weapon artillery thing is kind of standardized, then it's color scheme, it's only the different things there. And we see that understaff Tzav is with repairs. Jace has to be negotiated to be allowed to use the dragon in the city there. And Rhino just casually, yeah, but how about we just break the wall, force everybody into the fight, we get more people, fuck everything up, and it's gonna work out. Like I said, this guy is gonna do the correct thing, but the way he does it and how much he's willing to sacrifice for it, and he didn't bat an eye, like, yeah, let's do it. Why not there? And pain and suffering should be shared equally, which I technically agree with this. Fuck the nobles, fuck the knights, fuck the temple there, what has been going on. There's definitely a lot of inequality here, but you're doing that, but it's gonna have a lot of worse effects after this if you break the wall and everything like that. He's definitely crazy. And what I liked with Xylo saying, bonds aren't the things that motivate people, which he's right, but he's wrong also, because it depends on the people. In his case, of course, he's motivated by bonds. That's why I really like Xylo. He's a walking contradiction. He says something, but his actions also do something else here, and bonds are a great motivator. But in this case, he's also correct, because profit motivates people. How about just go hit the ships with the merchandise and everything there, and then force the fight to happen, to get everybody involved. And even Rhino agrees to that. He goes, does it, and here is where we have Venet into Kivia's office, going in with the bullshit that fairies have attacked the ship. Like, this guy just happens to randomly make coincidence happen, or is he right, or is he reading the room? Because he said that he was probably just bullshitting to get the reinforcements and so on, like he did previously also. But then that thing also happened, so he probably has a talent for this thing. Like, we know how he got a hero, he stumbled into the truth, so he keeps doing it here. And then thanks to Xylo and Rhino, it does happen, the ships get destroyed, but not by fairies, but they don't need to know that right here. And he gets the authorization to use dragon. But here is where things get more interesting, to say the least. He just says he didn't know what landmine he stepped in, and I really like this. Is probably my favorite scene in the episode. He just says, my regards to High Priest Marlin there. He wanted to ask his and a bit to have another suggestion to block the waterways, but he just says, my regards to Marlin, and then Kivia snaps at him. What did you say about my uncle? What? He finally let it go here. All of her suspicions and things bottling up. He thought he was saying something else. He was accusing her uncle, but it was all in her head and everything she's been thinking, going through, because she thinks that her uncle is a traitor, doing something evil connected to this Mahazel Zelkov, or maybe he's the masked man there. So a lot of things in Kivia's head, but she snapped at Venet and he had no idea why or what was going on, or maybe he did, because I wouldn't be surprised here. But this was probably the best scene in the entire episode here, and his suggestion to block the waterways, of course, another thing that turns out to be true, because the waterways were also getting attacked, but they get blocked, which we're gonna get into that also. We finally have the fighting starting, Xylo groups fighting there. They also have to save some people in the shelter here, and Rhino starts blasting monster. We finally see here the artillery shot is pretty strong there. And he also has a barrier, kind of reminded me a bit of Halo there. So he's a walking, talking artillery tank or of some sorts here, and you see him, he's also able to blast the houses. I don't mean able as in physically, he just did it without problem, just to take out the monster. So he's that extremist, radicalized view of doing the good thing despite of everything else there. And speaking of that, we see it on the other side in the waterways. The knights were fighting the monsters there, and Bujam also shows up and he transforms. We don't see his full transformation into a demon, we just see the shadows and him ripping apart knights there. So yeah, this was definitely a build-up episode, and another great scene we have after the action started. We have Marlin, apparently he gathered the military and the temple to fight together to protect the city. He set that up, saying this will unite us, the bonds will unite the people here, kind of calling back a bit the conversation there between Rhino and Xylo here, but he whispers something, a prayer under his breath. Kivia is also there talking a bit with him, and he says, Saint Mahailzel, protect us. And you see the reaction that Kivia had, and her suspicious, more like, imagine being suspicious of the person that you care about the most, that raised her, cared for her, everything, and so on. Like, this episode was great build up for Kivia's character, and I'm leaning towards he's probably fucked up, but I don't know if he's fully evil or he got deceived into believing he's doing the wrong thing for the right reason. I don't know where they're gonna go with her uncle here. Either way, Kivia is gonna break down when this is gonna hit her. It's gonna be like a truck, an emotional truck hit her, and I'm curious how this is going to go. I'm very excited for next episode with everything that's going on with Kivia, and of course the action, see how they're gonna handle the city and so on. Bujam, the Spriggan, also gonna have it involved. Rhino, what fucked up thing he's going to do. So yeah, this was a great episode here. So curious what you guys thought about it. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Sentence to be a Hero. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.